Good morning and happy Monday. Today marks week 7 since my August 1st vegetable garden planting experience, and just doing a quick little patio garden update. I gotta say, ever since the temps dropped, some of these guys are starting to do a little bit better. I can tell they're happier. Some things have been struggling. Yeah, it just depends on the plant. I have had also some pest issues already. Nothing too crazy, but I'm hoping I can get it under control. Over here, my rosemaries are definitely doing much better. They're so much greener since I realized, giving them blood meal and all of that other additional fertilizer. I never did that before, so they're so much happier. Pomegranate. The other thing too is I'm noticing some of my soil blends. Before I was doing more of a perlite, cocoa coir, worm castings, like with this lavender here, and even though I made it really light and fluffy, I don't think it's draining enough, or possibly not getting enough sun. I don't know, because there's a lot of indirect light on the patio, because now I've been using more pumice rock with the cocoa coir and compost and worm castings. And I know those plants that I've made that combo with are doing really well, so I might need to amend this. And also my plants. I have my echinaceas and giardias down here, and they're kind of struggling, so I might need to amend those also. But the things that are doing pretty well since temps have changed a little bit. I mean, it's still damn hot, but it's not like it was. My cantaloupe. So my cantaloupe has certainly gotten taller, and my mini watermelon over here, I can tell they're getting ready to start spitting out more stuff. I have my Blue Lake pole green beans here. Have gotten so much taller, and a lot of those, I think I've only lost one, but so far all of these sprouts are doing well and climbing the trellis. I still need to reattach that trellis up high before everybody gets way too tall. Actually, I'm just noticing my tomato plant over here is getting much taller too. This is my yellow pear tomato. I have a feeling I lost this guy. That doesn't look happy. And I have another tomato in the back. I think this one in the back is Roma? Yeah. So my Armenian cucumber keeps climbing towards the light, and there's really nowhere else for it to go any further that direction, so I'll be curious to see what it does. Maybe it'll just keep going up higher, but that guy has been growing like a weed. All of my green zucchinis, I can tell the guys that are in the front are getting more light and much bigger leaves, reaching for the sun, and the ones in the back are definitely smaller, so definitely a sign that they want the light, and I need to somehow, I don't know, see if I need to move them maybe out away from the wall more. But I did reposition a bunch of the plants that were here in front because I had taller plants that were kind of shielding the light. And I can tell since I've moved them and created more space for these, they're happier. But I want to figure out how I can get these to trail upwards on the trellis without eliminating any more light for the guys in the back. So I may have to rearrange some stuff. But they're holding on and doing very well. And I have noticed some buds on occasion coming out. Right now they're not there, but they come and go. So we'll see. I'm sure once I get a little bit more established. My sages, I think I may have overwatered this yesterday. I don't know. Yeah, probably. Sage is so hard, especially when I have it in a big pot. But I have all these guys, all my herbs. Some have been struggling, but they're hanging on, readjusting to the temps. My celery, my 2 celeries that made it so far keep growing out new stems, so that's super exciting. The other 3 or 4 that I had planted didn't make it, so I'll probably have to dig those up, but those are doing well. My basils are looking really good, all my Italian basils. My sweet potato here, I'm still letting that hang out. I want to wait before I dig that up. My Kentucky Kernel mint, my garlic chive is flowering. I think I may have only witnessed this a couple times since I've had it, because I've had this plant for quite a few years now, and I can tell it's pretty happy when it starts doing that. So yeah, I lost my sugar pods. That's a bummer, so I'm going to pull those out and make another attempt at carrots. Now here, my blue Hubbard squash, also, since I moved this, I had this over against that wall, which had more shade. And since I moved it here again, more light, it's much happier. And I have not yet decided on whether or not to cut either of these two seedlings, because both these sprouts are blue Hubbard. I've been letting them both go just wild on their own, waiting for one to take over the other. But I'm noticing now that they're both kind of hanging out just as strong, so I'm just going to let them do their thing. And then all of my acorn squash seedlings that I had just another round of planting some time ago are completely hanging on and getting bigger. And I don't know what I'm going to do, because I know that this pot isn't, or this grow bag is not going to be big enough for all of these guys. So we'll see. I'm just going to let them do their thing for now, and eventually I may have to pull some out. Ginger, turmeric in the back. Still have that one sprout hanging out. All my herbs. I think I may have, again, I'm trying to figure this out, but I think I may have overwatered some of those guys. I know they're more sensitive. My thyme, cilantro, but I'll just have to adjust the watering schedule here. Let's see, some of these guys, again, getting hit up by either the birds, looking for water or food, seeds. I'm not sure, but my onions, these guys are all doing well. My peppers. So I had a bunch of little buds on my shishito, but I've noticed lately the birds are getting back at them again. Every morning I come out here and I find so many dropped leaves, broken leaves and stems and buds dropped. Soil kicked up, so I don't know. I mean, I do see more new seedlings, but I gotta find a way to protect these guys. But yeah, I mean, all these guys, I even hacked back my chipotle because this guy was just falling over and I didn't feel like staking it up. So I kind of hacked off some of the longer stems that were weighing it down, and at least it's standing upright now. But nothing is coming just yet. Again, I think the birds just keep getting at them before they have a chance to really turn into anything. My moringa tree is growing like a weed. Oh my God. I just keep on clipping the bottom stems, and it looks like a mini tree already, so that's just ridiculous. I'm going to have to repot that at some point. Now, over here, this is where I had some issues. My Brussels sprouts, all my cabbages, I started noticing holes, and I had sprayed with neem oil, all sorts of stuff, and still more and more holes, and I finally looked under the leaves and found some cabbage caterpillars that I had picked off, and I know that they can lay seeds underneath, hidden everywhere, so I've been spraying like crazy, even with soapy water, and picking them off and trying to check these things every morning. I just can't seem to stay on top of it enough, because now I'm noticing that they're starting to venture over to some of the other plants, the sweet potato and my eggplant. And they definitely got over to my kales and my mustard lettuce. And they've even attempted at some of the other plants, but it's funny because I can tell that they don't like some of the other plants as much because yeah, they don't have as many holes. So I don't know. I'm going to have to do another check here today to see what's going on. Are there more? Where are they hiding? Because they're completely eating up these guys, and yeah, I have a feeling I'm gonna probably find more of those, but I mean, they're still alive. I just got to get it under control. So that's my Brussels sprout, another sweet potato batch over here. My eggplants, I mean, these eggplants actually are doing really well. This guy especially, this Black Beauty, continues to spit out new little leaves, so I know that guy's good. This was the first eggplant I planted, the Japanese slender little guy. I don't know if he's going to make it. He's hanging on, but not doing, I don't really see any new growth. It just keeps on losing leaves. This guy keeps spitting out new leaves though too, so I know it's happy. And then again, my kales, my caper tree or plant, my artichoke. I lost a bunch of mustard lettuce, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. At least everybody is getting some new leaves. So that's a good sign. At least I know they're still growing. Over here, my Roselle hibiscus. I'm loving watching this thing. I might need to kind of trellis this here somehow, but I am noticing we're getting some little calyxes, little baby calyxes, I think, right here. Some little flower buds. I'm really excited. Yeah, pretty sure that's what those are. So I can't wait for this guy to get really big, because those, from what I understand, this is my first season attempting this, well, my first time ever attempting any of these vegetables, that they will produce flowers and then some calyxes that I can pluck off and then use to make for, well, I won't have probably enough to make jam, but at least if I have enough to consume somehow, maybe make some tea or whatever, that would be great. I do have more onions here. Everybody here, you know, they're all hanging out. They're all doing good. More tomatoes, those are doing good. Celebrity and beefsteak. And then, of course, my jasmines have been blooming like crazy. I just had to sweep all the dead buds off the ground the other day, but I love how fragrant these are. And with the cooler temps coming, once the temps drop even more, they're going to definitely start exploding with more and more fragrant buds. I love it. But that's it for the garden tour here this morning. The sun is just coming up. It's going to be a really nice day. But I want to thank you again for stopping by. I was just looking at my tomato plants and getting a closer look at stuff, and I just happened to notice that got this lone squash seedling that just came out of nowhere in the back with my tomatoes. And so, yeah, I'm probably going to have to pull that. I'm just going to leave it for right now, but I continuously find seedlings that I had planted back in August that I never even thought were going to come out, and now all of a sudden, because of changing weather, they germinated. So I don't know, we'll see. I guess it's going to be survival of the fittest. And now this tray of seeds I had started, I believe back in August, very end of August. I was trying to get a jump start on some stuff for the beginning of September, and I had these out in the patio. You know, I had some sprouts and they didn't make it, so I just kind of put this in a corner. I just disregarded it altogether because I didn't think it was going to actually turn into anything. So I had it sitting out there in a shadowy, dark corner of the patio, covered up with fertilizer bags and boxes for a few weeks. And I went to pull it out to bring it inside the other day, and somehow these guys have germinated in being neglected completely. Apparently there was enough of the right combination of sun or lack of sun, moisture, and everything. So now I have broccoli starts that are just popping up, and I also have some yellow onion starts. So we'll see. I'm gonna start caring for them and see if they turn into anything.